I thought the intensity picked up, and we were able to kind of keep the lead. I'm not sure how close they got there in the second half, but I thought we did a pretty good job keeping them at bay for the most part. I thought Mo Diabate's defense on Murray Boyles was one of the big keys in the game, to be honest with you. I mean, Colin, a lot of people have him first round of the draft. He shot 1 for 6 tonight, only had 6 points. I thought Diabate did a good job, great job guarding him. Mo was plus 19 in his 17 minutes when he was in. So, he really impacts the game in a big way. I was happy with his effort. We got a lot of good efforts from a lot of people. So, good road win for us. And I know they're down Stu, which obviously helped us. But, injuries happen, and we got to take advantage of that stuff sometimes.
Questions for Mark first? Emily.
Mark, tell me a little bit about how Mark, tell me a little bit about how it feels to come out on the road and have a performance like you did tonight, especially after that non-conference slump. Do you feel like it really kind of puts the SEC on notice?
Really, it's hard to win on the road, and we got to do whatever you got to do to win on the road, and just seeing the first shot go in, and it felt good after that.
Up front.
Mark, I believe you guys were about 1.4 points per possession in that first half. Where do you think you guys had the biggest advantage against South Carolina's defense?
We try to play out fast. We try to let our defense lead to easy transition buckets on the offensive end, and then when we're in a half court, we just play with our connectors and we move the ball.
Anything else for Mark? Okay, thank you. Questions for Coach? Emily, go ahead.
Expand a little bit more on Mohamed Bouazza's work on defense today and how you guys kind of worked with him last week after the player foul against Oklahoma.
Yeah, I mean, he's a tough kid. I wasn't happy with the flagrant foul. It's just wasn't a smart play. It gave them, it was a turnover because it's supposed to be on the ball. They get 2 free throws in the ball, so he lost some minutes in that game, quite a few minutes actually, but he had a great practice coming in. And then we just got his head right again and got him ready to go tonight. Thought he was a really good matchup for Murray Boyles. He's super strong, but you can't move him very well. So I think maybe the last shot Colin took him and I just kind of threw it up there. He couldn't really move Mo at all. And, he's long, he moves well, he's tough. So, he's been having great weeks of practice and, we're trying to get him more minutes. And, he had a great matchup tonight. He's a guy that if we're ever not playing tough enough, he's going to bring toughness. That's what he does. And he brought it tonight, particularly on the defensive end, guarding their leading scorer.
The corner.
Nate, you mentioned the starters at the start of the second half for poor defense. Had that been building to this point, or just what went into that sequence of events?
Yeah, that had definitely been building. We've had awful starts to the second half, particularly when we've had a lead. It's like they get comfortable. We're just going to play around with it. No, that's not how we do things around here. We're playing every possession. What the score is, we'll try and get stops. I mean, I think they started on a 9-6 run. Giving them layups and transition. We just didn't look like we were ready to start the second half, and I've seen that too often, and I had enough of it. So we solved, and then that wasn't quite good enough. The next group gave up a transition bucket, and then we called the timeout, and I think got straightened out after that.
Up front.
On the stat broadcast here, it says that you guys were able 26 shot attempts at either layups or dunks. I mean, what were you guys doing really well tonight to be able to get the ball to the rim? It's pretty fun to see that.
Yeah, I mean, we spread people out. We only ended up with 19 threes, which isn't as many as we'd like, but we've shot 55 in a game this year. We're still where we're at in the country. 3-pointers per game, but somewhere up in the top 5, I believe. So people are cognizant of the fact we like to shoot. spread them out a little bit, particularly they lock onto Sears like they did tonight. It opens up big driving gaps. We've got strong, tall, physical drivers, Diabate, Jared Stevenson, Darian Reed drove it to the rim well today, Grant Nelson, kind of go through that list and kind of get downhill. So the guys are getting downhill and kind of open the lane. Yeah, our kind of an analytics box score, we have us at 21-33 at the rim. So, we also don't settle for a whole lot of non-rim twos. Holloway's pretty skilled. He took a few. I was good with all of them, but the last one. But, we're trying to get downhill, get to the rim, get to the free throw line. It would have been better if we had made some free throws tonight. That was a disaster for us. But, everything else was pretty, it's definitely not one of our better offensive games, but it was good enough to win tonight. But that is definitely one of the things we like to do is get the ball downhill to the rim and dunk the ball. I don't know how many dunks we had tonight, but 6. Yeah. Go to the rim with some force.
2 more from Zoom. Nick Kelly, go ahead.
Yeah, Nate, I was going to ask you about free throws. I think it's the lowest of the season. I mean, is that just a first road game, or what do you chalk it up to, and how do you make sure it doesn't happen again?
Say first road game, or you're referring to like the?
First SEC road game.
I'm going to address calls. So I get that's not anything that's smart to do. So I don't know what it was. I did think we were driving it to the rim. I don't know. I don't really know. Sears is usually pretty good at getting the line. I mean, he shot 13 last game. He only shot 5 this game. Some of the guys, maybe the fact we were missing them, they got a little less aggressive. They didn't want to go, but I did think we got downhill. I mean, some of these guys are hard to officiate. I don't know. I don't have a great answer until I go back and watch that over again. I mean, I didn't think the officiating was that bad. I always argue call it here or there on something, but yeah, I'd have to look at the tape and see why I didn't think we got to the line as much as we probably should have.
Last one, Tony.
Yeah, Nate, this is back-to-back games where you've kind of neutralized their biggest, the opposing team's biggest threat. So what does that say about your preparation, the game plan you guys have kind of headed into these matchups with?
It speaks. Coach Adams done a great job. I think he's really good. He's been in the NBA for pretty much most of his career. And obviously at that level, you got a game plan for the best players in the world. So I think he does a good job. I think it also speaks to we've got some guys that have some personal pride in their defense this year. Last game, Baron Philon thought did a really good job on Fears. Jared Stevenson's 6'10" and can move his feet, athletic. The job he did on RJ Davis, the reps he had on Fears, and then when they've got a big, I think Cliff's, done well. I mean, Cliff had to figure out a system, but he's done all right. And then when they get a kind of an undersized post-up guy, like Murray Boyles is, and he's really good. He's obviously played really well in this league for the last couple of years. Mo Diabate's got a lot of pride in his defense too. So I think we've got different guys, whether it's Baron, Mo, Darian Reed's taking a lot of pride in stopping guys. I mean, we didn't do a great job on Ace Bailey, but when Darian came in, he did a pretty good job on him. So we played some of the best players in the country this year. We've had different guys step up, want the assignment, which is good to have as a coach, and then step up and actually do the assignment pretty well.
Thank you, Coach.